Hi everyone, welcome to this week weekly market update. So it's been a rough week for last week market movements. Especially we know it's a good closing on last Friday, as we can see that Dow actually rallied to 570 points, a big turnaround, and Nasdaq also end at a good side of 1.6 higher. So what causes this kind of movement last Friday? As we know that last week is full of economic data, especially last Friday is on the non-farm payroll and the unemployment rate. All right, we can see that the non-farm payroll actually jumped up by 370,000, 379,000 for the months, and the unemployment rate actually fell to 6.2%, comparing to their expectation of 210,000 new jobs and job rate hold at 6.3% rate in January. So with such a strong that expected job report, right, it actually boosts the optimism for a faster economy recovery. That's why the market actually go back even higher. And on top of that, right, last 10 year I mean the 10-year treasury yield, the ease back to 1.55% after it actually went up to 1.6% to touch a 2021 high. But is it a very good sign? Because usually Friday market is a close, usually it's a green. If you, let's say you compare, usually market close on a Friday will be on the green side, because people will tend to close all their positions. Short seller will actually remove all their short positions, because over the weekend you might not know what happened. Especially for example, this coming example like last yesterday today actually the Senate actually passes the 1.9 trillions of COVID relief. Right now they are actually waiting for the House Democrats to for the final approval. All right, so if let's say you are a short seller, and you want to hold on your short over the weekend risk, right, you are exposed to this kind of thing, as we know that this is what we are looking at over the weekends, right? Over last week, which I mentioned, we have 2 weeks time zone to play a part if you are looking to short. So but ultimately, will this bring a good news or a bad news to the market itself? Why do I say it's a good news or a bad news? Good news is, of course, it does help the market. It does provide support to those unemployed people. Correct? It does boost the economy. But the what people are worried is that, will this 1.9 trillion cause inflations or not? Because when it causes inflation, right, then the the so-called the money policy easing will come into play. They will actually increase the interest rate instead. So it's actually a pull and push factor between the inflation and the interest rate at this point of times lah. So how will you take a look? How will you look at it, and how will you play around with this kind of news? Right, it's ultimately based on what is the sector of the stocks you are going to pick. For example, financial sector will be good if let's say interest rate increase, correct or not? So if you tend to worry, then divert yourself into the correct sector, then zoom down to the correct stocks, then you will actually benefit from there with your good risk and rewards setup. All right, so this is what happened over the last Friday. It went higher. Coming this weekend, this is what happens. And then people who would like to know more the COVID relief package, right? The FAQ, I will put this into my Facebook page, the link, so you guys can actually read up what you need to know on this stimulus package. Someone wrote it, New York Times. I found it. Share with you guys as well. So, coming week for the coming weeks, things to watch out, like I say, is the higher interest rate fear, followed by the stimulus. So, which one is good? Which one outweigh which one? Then you guys need to look at the chart itself. All right. Uh, so experts say that the Fed will not raise the rate, all right, due to the inflation. I mean, to my take is that they might definitely more money pump in, definitely inflation will increase. All right. Will the rate will the Fed hike the rate immediately is a secondary things. They might not hike immediately, but it gives them the excuse for them to hike. Correct or not? Because you look at it, if right now the interest rate is so low, for them to cut is impossible. Correct or not? It's possible, but they don't want to go to the negative rate. Correct or not? So it's so called an excuse for the Fed to play around their stimulus tools, uh, so that when they want to hike the rate, they can say that due to the inflation, due to the money they pump in to support the economy, they have to hike the rate to reduce the inflations. So this gives them the excuse going forward. How can they play around with their tools on hands? All right. So we'll then do on monetary policy. I think will not hike immediately, but will they hike going forward? I think it's excuse there. All right. So next thing for the coming week, things to watch out. Actually, there's one main thing is actually in initial jobless claim. This will show how's the so-called the economy recovery as well. So this is what we are watching out. All right. Without further ado, today shared a couple of things. Today title is called big crucians. What is big crucians? I will share with you more on the chart later. So let's take a look at the what we have looked at last week. So last week I mentioned on Dow Jones Index, right? I mentioned it will come down, continue, and I mentioned to look at the whole figure of 30,000. So Monday when it opened, it go green, and then people were actually got trapped. Then it came down again. So Friday, good data, good closing, but it didn't close higher. All right, we are looking at immediate. If let's say you are talking about immediate resistance, right? Immediate strength, it must break this. All right, it must break 31,600. It must break it. Then we can see that the strength is play a part. All right, so this one must break this area. Okay, so right now it's still hovering. But with the over the weekends the package that passed from CNEX, Granite, will it go even higher? Continue to monitor. You can actually there's two way of playing. Enter in after you break out. All right. If you want to chase here, but it didn't go up and come down, you are actually got the bull trap. Bull trap. All right. So I will wait and take a look from here. I mean, if you enter here, your profit is lower, but at least there's more confirmations. Correct? So it depends how you look at it. Okay. 31,600 is what we are monitoring. Uh, next thing. Next thing. Let me see. All right. Next thing we'll be looking at dollar. All right, for dollar. All right, mentions last week. You see 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, somewhere here, correct or not? I said first target 91.50 cents. I'm bullish on dollar. Second target 92.50. Right, 92.50. It's good closing sign. People who actually long is a good closing sign. Shift your stop loss from here to here. Right, shift your stop loss to here. Stop loss. Okay, why? Uh, why is because we know that package is going to roll out soon. When stimulus package going to roll out soon, is actually print more money. Print more money will it actually weaken the dollar. Might have some immediate response from here. So we won't know will there be a pullback and then go up. But if you're worried that it pull even deeper, right, you can actually put. Sorry. If you're worried that it will pull even deeper, you can put your stop loss here at your first TP. At least you are being covered yourself. All right, wait for it to come back, then you long again. Correct? So we see how it goes. All right, ultimately 92.50. First TP hit, this is just a bonus TP, 92.50. Okay, so this is on the dollar itself. Next thing, we will be looking at Nasdaq. All right, so Nasdaq. All right, Nasdaq, I think I shared before. Yeah, if you look at, I think I cleared the drawing. I said 12,500. I remember clearly. 12,500. Right, is where it goes. Penetrate, come up. Good sign is right now close above 100-day moving average support. So that, so if this is able to continue to go up, this is the first significant support here. But if it break below, due to the worry of interest rate higher, because why interest rate is so negative to the stock market is because company that have debts, right, they need to pay more. All right, so it's no longer so-called free money in the market itself. So that is why interest rate is kind of like bad thing for the stock market itself, unless it's finance sector. Why? Because finance sector they earn on the interest, right? So if interest increase, they will earn more from there as well. So vice versa. So take a look from here. Okay, so right now, good sign is being supported by 100-day moving average for Nasdaq. We shall see how it goes from here. All right, close below will not be a good sign. Okay, this is for Nasdaq. Next thing, US oil. Yes, US oil broke out. Okay, I mentioned, look at the weekly chart. I mentioned last week. All right, I say resisted at 94, resisted at 94. Don't look at this first green candle lah. All right, don't look at first green candle. This one, we remove it. Okay, last week we don't have this one. Correct? Not? It's here. So I mean, we don't talk about high side. Right now, it break above. It break above. So will we chase? I won't go in. It break above, I won't go in. I don't like to chase lah. I mean, but good sign is if you take this as a gauge, right? It's good for people who actually invest into exchange traded funds. All right, I mentioned this many times ago. You can see where is I draw my arrow. That means I actually spoke on this counter during this period of time. All this is not being discovered yet. I say energy is doing good. It will come up, hit $50, whereby it hit. All right, close above right now. All right, if you manage to write this I think since like 3 months, is a good profit here. Right, this is a good profit. Congrats if you manage to enter based on my video. Okay, so this is XLE. Okay, next thing I'm going to introduce a couple of stocks. All right, look at a couple of stocks first. One is Craft, mentioned again. Doing pretty decent, doing pretty good. On its way to my target, I believe. What is my target? Let's take a look. Okay, my target I'm looking at 42. All right, so last week is still green. Even though the market is choppy, it's slowly and steady going up to 42. So this is my first target at 42. I will continue to hold on to this position. Yeah, I'm holding on to the positions. Next is on CCL. Mentioned last week, not to be surprised if the price dropped. All right, not to surprise if CCL revisit 22. So what happened last Friday? Too bad I mean the price went to the low of 23.26, so it's a dollar 20 cents away from my $22. So I'm actually eyeing on that. All right, I'm sniping on that. It missed, but it closed above 24 right now. The first support, it closed above. All right, so it's a good counter. Like I mentioned, economy reopen, the vaccines stronger, getting more confirmation, especially from Johnson and Johnson's, also the third vaccines. Um, I think once the market reopen, Carnival is way to go. All right, so I'm still looking for a cheap price to enter. I might have missed 2022, but if let's say 24 is the first good support, I might increase my entry price. All right, so I'm looking at Carnival closely as well. $18 is a well support. Break below, not a good sign, not a first good sign. Okay, so monitor if you are keen on Carnival. Okay, next thing I'm talking about Can-Go. Okay, Can-Go, people who again talk about old story. Mentions last time. Okay, last time nothing happened. Double bottom, good FA. Okay, good FA, good earnings result. After I mentioned the stock, boom, went higher 50%. Okay, went up higher 50%. So right now market retrace, come back already. Retrace this doesn't mean the stocks no good. All right. Ultimately, last quarter earnings report is good. I think fundamental is good. So if let's say I am to withdraw this whole thing, okay, cover gap. This is the first point, right? It cover gap. Okay, cover gap. We can know here is the resistance, right? It cover gap. Right now, we are looking at good support base. Okay, what do I mean by good support base? This is a good support base. All right. So people who have not entered is a good price. I mean, you can catch it when the market is open on Monday. If let's say the majority of the market is went into the positive zone, Dow Jones break up as well. It's a good entry price. All right. Right now, it's a good entry price. No worries. All right. Break below $7 round figure or 6.96, then will not be showing a good sign. All right, once they come below, I worry that it might back to the consolidations at the bottom again. Right, I worry it might consolidate at the bottom again. But to me, I think it's a good price right now. For people who like to hold slightly longer term, I think it's a good price right now. This is how I'm look at Kango. All right. So am I in? Yes, I'm in. All right, I in somewhere here lah. Okay. So congrats if people who like to have these stocks, then you can nimble a bit. Okay, So what's so good about it can go, right? Not just a good earnings result, not just good earning result. Uh, Last, I think on the 2nd of March, the company announced 50 million share repurchase program. All right, share repurchase program is a good sign for the stock. So, because it was strengthened, right? So I think that is one of the signs as well. And then beside that, people who like to invest, right? Take note, there will be a earnings report, if I'm not wrong, on the 12th March. Based on what they said previously on their last quarter, 12th March, I think it's their earnings report. Company currently expect to issue such earning release on or about March of 12th, all right, which is coming Friday. Okay, coming Friday. So take note, people who want to be a more, more passive, more safe side, you can actually enter after 12 March, which is the following week. All right, so this is what I'm looking at right now. Okay, today beside that, I'm going to share two things. Big crucian, just now I mentioned. So what is big crucian about? Big crucian is, you buy at a price, and then there's big fund house come in and bought at a higher price than you. That means you are buying cheaper. All right, you're buying cheaper than the fund house. So isn't that a good thing to say? Because you know that even though you enter at this price, right, there's $1 billion up there protecting you. Because usually for fund houses, right, they enter based on fundamental analysis, correct or not? They believe the company is doing good based on their earnings report, their data. So if you're able to buy below their entry price, it's a wonderful thing. All right, you can sleep more soundly and like, correct or not? So today I'm going to share with you two counter. One is the Tesla. All right, Tesla. I remember I shared this counter last week as well. I said this is where the price we are monitoring at. You can catch between 490 to 588 is a good price for Tesla. All right, the first entry price lah. Correct, the first pickup price. So that I shared this on my video last week, or I shared this photo on my Facebook page. If you miss out, meanings to say that you didn't follow me. So please follow me. All right. So why I say it's a good price. First of all, people who I think art innovations is one of the good asset fund houses, asset management. People is monitoring closely because they are so called a good performance ETF, exchange traded funds, in 2020. All right, they perform very very well. Mainly is because they have the major most of their funds hold major Tesla shares. As we know, Tesla shares has been doing very well since last into 2020 as well. Correct? In 2020, all right, they are doing extremely well. So these funds hold ETF on Tesla will be performing very well as well. So right now, Tesla Innovation mentioned that they add 171 million of Tesla shares uh on Tuesday. On Tuesday, this news reported on 24th Feb, which is all right. So on Tuesday, 24th Feb, let's take a look. 24th Feb, it announced it added on Tuesday, 23rd. So when the price was closed below 700. So let's look at Tesla. On 23rd, the lower of Tesla, the low is 619. 619. So I put up has a good entry price. They entered at the very low of that day itself. 171 million. If you manage to catch below 619, isn't that you are way better off than them? Yes, they might have some price way below, but at least I can say that I managed to enter way below that 171 million. Correct or not? So if you manage to grab somewhere here, congrats to you. So because you are one step way better than art innovations. This is what I'm looking at, big crucians. All right, so people who managed to enter based on my video, congrats to you. So 490 is Tesla is a long-term investment portfolio. All right, people who want to trade, then your price have to be very very accurate. All right, this is more on the trading, but it's also more on the accumulations of for investor as well. This is a good first price to, you know, if you divide your war chest into three portions, this is the first good entry price. All right, then we will look at the next, followed by the Fibonacci going down. Then you are doing dollar averaging on your investment. All right, ultimately the company must be good. I think Tesla is the way to go. Is the good technology to go. All right, EV as we know. So if you manage to enter it, congrats, big cushion 171. All right, next thing. So they mentioned about it. Shared with you. I will share the link. You guys can read about. So all right. So what caused Tesla to come down? Couple of reasons lah. Couple of reasons. I mean, the whole market is not doing well. Nasdaq is coming down, the technology is coming down. But ultimately, it's because of the competition and the part shortage. All right, that's why you can see all the EV, right? Not just Tesla itself, like Neo, all right, like Neo, it's also came down, like Xpeng, it came down as well. Why? Because the parts that require to make the vehicle, right, is shortage at this moment. All right, it's shortage at this moment. Without parts to make vehicle, no vehicle, no delivery, no delivery, no revenue. Correct? Not? So that causes the market to panic to come down as well. But ultimately, it's overvalued. If you believe it is overvalued, all right. This thing is not like so-called a bearish move. If you call it a correction, it's also fine. All right. So this is what I'm looking at Tesla. Second is the shares called Palantir. I think Palantir, a lot of people is looking at it closely as well. All right, Palantir. Palantir. So I bring up I shared on last Friday. Okay, last Friday. Um, cannot see the date. Friday, 5 March. I said on 11 p.m. Singapore time. I said that if you monitor Palantir, fund house invest on Palantir, and if you're able to get at 22, art innovations will be your crucials. Correct? Not? Will be your crucials. 22 is a good entry price. Okay, let's look at Palantir. What happened on Friday? On Friday itself, this is a day chart. On Friday itself, we can see that the lowest it go to is around 2018, $20.18. Of course, I say that $22 is a good price. Why? Because we can see that the first immediate support is 22.50. So if that the price go down to 22, right, it actually break all the support. We can say that it actually clear all the stop loss in the market. People, we are looking at the same thing, correct? Not? Usually, if you entered somewhere here, anywhere here, you will put your stop loss at somewhere here, right? So 22 is whereby it clear all the stop loss, people in the market, and then it bounce back. So people will feel the pain. All right, and you entered way before. You got a cushion as well. Cushions, correct? Not? They added 2.6 million of shares, which is around 62.7 million. All right, this is reported on Wednesday closing, where the price is around 23.59. So you enter at 22, what's so bad? You got 62 million cushion for you. And if you are really a lover of Palantir, right, you enter at a very, very good price. Even though I didn't catch the rule at 20, all right, I didn't manage. I'm not God, right? But 22 is a good price as well. Right now it's at 23.18. You are $1.80 above the average, and you are way better than Up Innovations. Then what are you waiting for? So this is a good price to enter. If you didn't manage to enter at 22, not to worry. Monday open, if the market have not run off, it's still a good price to catch. All right. Bad thing, if so, what is the downside? If the market go below, right now we are looking at if the market go below this low that is set in on Friday, which is around $20, then if you go below, we can see that the market will continue to go fall deeper. All right, so people who all right below here, you will continue to fall deeper. So people who actually are long into these shares, $20 is your first stop loss, immediately stop loss at this point of time. All right, so that's all for this week. I've shared mostly all I wanted to share. Thank you for listening. If you have not followed, please remember to follow my Facebook page, my Telegram. Hopefully, you guys will earn something from there as well. All right, thank you. See you guys next week. Bye bye.